Recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Z Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Z Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZEDGamesAU.
I'm back. You're listening to Z Games. My name is Hazel, and in the studio with me is Rani.
Yeah, that's me. Hello.
We were supposed to be joined by Tobi tonight. He was going to join us on remote studio, but I don't know where he is.
No, God.
I'm here.
Oh my God. Tobi's here in person.
I made it all the way up from New South Wales, and it's only 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, I made it in time.
Welcome back, Tobi.
Thank you. Headphones.
It's good to see your beautiful face and talk to you at the same time again.
Good. Yes. Suddenly I can see the people I'm talking to rather than and hearing them and not having to worry about refreshing screens.
It's nice to be able to not have a bodiless voice floating around. I am having a much better time understanding you.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Well, we have quite a show tonight. We got some news coming up from Maylee in a second, and later on, Zahra has cooked up a little review for us of a little game with the kitty cats.
Aww,
Kitties.
I like it.
I won't spoil that though. So
Spoil it.
I want to know, what have you two been playing lately?
You know I have not been playing anything because
Yes.
you know I have been moving house.
Yes, I know you have just been moving house. What about you, Tobi?
Me? I would love to be saying I've been playing games, but I've been travelling with a toddler for the last 2 weeks and therefore have had absolutely no free time. And instead, I've been staring at the Vive XR Elite and completely getting the release date wrong, thinking it was going to release yesterday. And instead, it's releasing at the end of the month. So, yay! I was gonna do VR stuff for the next 2 weeks. Now I'm not.
Well,
And
do you already have a VR rig?
Well, I have a VR rig, but it's the original Vive, and I want to read books in my Vive, and I want better resolution.
You want to read books in your Vive?
I want to read books in my
because
Vive.
reading books in the real world is not good enough.
No.
Now you have to do it in VR.
I want all the things.
Toby,
All right.
there are ebooks. Is that close enough to VR reading for
I can't
you?
pick up an ebook.
You can't pick up a VR book either.
Yes, you can.
You
No,
can
you
It's
pretend
in
you're picking it
virtual
up.
reality. It's real.
You
I
can
can see
pretend
it.
to pick up an ebook. Actually, you can pick up an ebook. You pick up the thing that you're reading an ebook on.
Yes.
No, I don't. I refute your logic.
No.
Yes.
We're going to have a books episode.
Oh.
Oh my God, we should do
Well, no,
one
'cause
about books about games.
Well, I know. Well, that's why we're going to have a books
How about
episode.
art about-
Because I have a book to review.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not
Someone
Ready Player
should,
3?
It's it's not. Because believe it or not, there are more books out there about video games.
Yes. No. I love the VR game books.
Are they actual books?
There are books based around
love-
alternate reality stuff.
I love the idea of you sitting in your VR headset with your controllers, holding a book open, and the book is the novelization of Minecraft.
Oh. Okay.
That's
That's
beautiful mental image for me.
Too many layers. Like we're getting
gone
getting
meta.
too far into it. No, don't say that.
Zuckerberg's going to come around the corner.
All right, that's enough of that.
I'm scared.
It's time for the news.
2023 Pokemon Day announcements. The 27th of February is Pokemon Day, and as always, the Pokemon Company treated players to a stream of updates and announcements for all things Pokemon. Here are some of the highlights. Scarlet and Violet are getting expansions. One big announcement was the upcoming expansion for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. The DLC will split into 2 parts, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc. The DLC will allow players to explore an entirely new area, the land of Kitakami, and the school of Blueberry Academy. While this tale is split into 2 parts, they link together to tell a connected story. Pokemon Sleep app update. This app was originally announced in 2019, but we've heard nothing about it in the years since, until now. Players of Pokemon Sleep will journey to a new island where Professor Neroli studies the nature of Pokemon sleeping habits. Of course, Snorlax will be a key part of this game, but you'll be able to meet and catch many other Pokemon who you'll find napping together each morning. The app's purpose seems to be making the pursuit of a good night's sleep fun. While we don't have a date yet, we know that Pokemon Sleep will be released for Android and iOS devices this winter. The Pokemon Company and Netflix have teamed up to create Pokemon Concierge, a stop-motion animated series set to premiere on Netflix later this year. It follows the story of a concierge named Haru who works at the Pokemon Resort, an uncreatively named resort for Pokemon. Not much else is known yet, but the trailer suggests it will be a cute slice-of-life detour from the typical battling and catching Pokemon formula. You can find these trailers and more information on our website and the link through our Facebook page. The Super Mario Bros. Movie release date has been brought forward. A recent update announced that the film, which was set to release on April 7th, has been moved slightly forward to release on April 15th in Australia, the USA, and 60 other markets around the world. While not the first time the release date has been altered, with it first being set for 2022, then March, then April, it will hopefully be the last. Late last week was Sony's State of Play, and we were treated to trailers, updates, and announcements for a range of games. There are more than we can talk about here, but some of the highlights were an announcement trailer for Journey to Foundation, a game based on Isaac Asimov's sci-fi epic coming fall 2023. Another announcement was for Synapse, a VR shooter where you wield telekinetic powers, releasing exclusively to PlayStation VR 2. Another game for PlayStation VR 2 is The Foglands, a stylized roguelike with Western vibes, releasing later this year. And we're also getting a VR release for Before Your Eyes on March 10th. Goodbye Volcano High has been brewing for some time now, and we just got a new trailer plus the release date for June 15th, 2023. And finally, we saw a new trailer for Chia, which is releasing on March 21st, 2023. I did look it up, but if I got the pronunciation wrong, I'm very sorry. That is TCHIA. If you'd like to read more, you can visit our Facebook page for a link. And here's some upcoming game releases. On March 3rd, we have Wo Long Fallen Dynasty for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS. On March 6th, we have the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC releasing to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. On March 7th, we have the Outer Worlds Space's Choice Edition for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And on March 7th again, we have Little Witch Nobeta for PS4 and Switch. And that's all this week in gaming news.
Now, I think we have a few things to talk about here.
Oh god, yes.
Are you regretting your decision to get a HTC Vive, whatever the new one's called, and not a PSVR 2?
Who says I'm not getting the PSVR 2 as well?
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Never mind.
Oh.
Forget I said anything.
My plan is maybe not.
Oh, well, no. How about this?
Mm-hmm.
You get the whatever.
We've got to
You
have
get that
somebody on
one,
the show who
and
reviews VR.
Paul's getting the VR 2, PlayStation VR 2.
Paul
And then we'll
doesn't
put you two
get
together
PlayStation.
to talk about everything.
I think if I get one, Paul will have to get one, and so we can
Yeah.
basically
so you have
just
to...
yell at each other and say, "I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it."
Exactly.
But we
And
did
that'll
that with
be a
Pokemon.
whole
You
episode.
can play two-player VR games together and yell at each other in the headset.
But I don't know how good the microphone is in it,
I
or
don't
the
know.
headphones.
Well, you could play
Actually, no, I
Synapse,
do know how
a VR
bad.
shooter where you wield telekinetic powers, releasing exclusively to PlayStation VR 2,
I did.
and throw telekinetic beams at each other, maybe.
No,
Wow.
or they can get into Tobi's VR library and throw books at one another.
We have an update. Paul already has a
Yeah,
VR.
Paul already has it.
Okay, maybe. But I've heard that headphones in them are horrifyingly bad.
On the PlayStation.
Oh, I think you can get
VR,
external
yeah.
ones.
You can? Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like a port you can hook them up to or something as
Fingers
well,
crossed.
just to make it easy.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so too. Because hell no, am I putting things into my ears?
Anyway.
Yep.
I'm bored of VR.
What are we going to talk about?
I've never
I'm
tried
bored of
VR in my life.
because I cannot play VR without getting sick.
I've never tried VR in my life.
Well-
I get motion sickness like on the bus, so I assume that I would get motion sickness.
I want to live in VR.
I definitely get motion sickness when playing some games too.
Well,
I'm like,
if we move from that and then go to Pokemon, sleep.
I volunteer to sleep,
Yes, let's sleep.
not
On Pokemon.
not
Let's-
play Pokemon.
Have a nap. You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Hazel, and I'm here in the studio with Rani and Tobi.
Woo.
And we're about to listen to a review from our very own Zahra of a game called Calico.
Oh,
Are you ready?
cats, 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 cats,
But not
cats.
the Broadway musical.
Calico is a magical cat cafe game where potions are normal, small animals can be big, and big animals can be small, and everyone seems to have a spell or two up their sleeve. And it is all tooth-achingly sweet. We have cutesy pastel 3D art style using simplified shapes to make everything look so cuddly, tons of customization options, and weirdly intense cookie minigames. Calico is all about everything cute or spooky. Hey, you decorate how you want to decorate. The main actions in Calico are fulfilling quests, decorating your cafe, and making food, and there's enough content of each time to keep the gameplay moving, without too much downtime if you keep a lively pace, or to really take your time with these areas and really flesh out your cafe. You start out in the little town where the rundown cafe is based. Unfortunately, this town is cut off, with paths blocked by boulders. But thankfully, with a town full of magical folks, your determination and some friendly animals, it's not a hard obstacle to overcome. You'll find that you'll need to keep finding various solutions to obstacles as parts of the land are blocked off for various reasons, such as a giant cat having a snooze in a log. As you progress, you'll meet townsfolk, a hot spring owner, business cats, and so much more, all who have errands that need doing, requests to make, or just need some help to find a beloved pet. Completing these requests gives you money, which can of course be exchanged for goods and services. You can buy new recipes, furniture items for your cafe, a large variety of clothes, and so much more. You also have the ability to customize your player character, and you can dress up at any point. One of the customization features I found interesting was that clothing items are bought blank without a texture, and you can customize the color and texture yourself. I kept it pretty simple, but you unlock more designs as you go, so you can definitely play around with it a lot. Decorating your cafe is also easy and chill. You can buy furniture of various aesthetics and place them wherever you wish. Couches, tables, indoor plants, rugs, painting, wall shelves, even the outside can be customized. I was working on making a really lush garden with plenty of relaxing outdoor seating. The people you meet will want to check out your cafe, and they all have their preferences. You can make sure you have their favourite chair and food available, although I did take some offence to one of the townsfolk requesting I put in some spooky furniture when I was clearly going for a pastel garden vibe. But hey, happy customers means more money. Now, I need to talk about the cookie minigame. Basically, when you get a recipe, you need to cook it, of course. But no, you can't do it normally. You gotta shrink down real small and race around the kitchen using wooden spoons to fling yourself around the place. I'm throwing eggs, I'm carrying a block of butter that's bigger than me, and I'm chucking bags of flour into the cauldron. Each recipe is unique and requires different steps, actions, and ingredients. You'll fish out donuts from the deep fryer, you'll fly along on a little balloon so you can place the final sprinkles on the cupcakes, and you'll bounce on a pogo stick with a cookie cutter on the bottom. You'll get time for most of it, and the speed at which you successfully cook, without burning it, will dictate how high the quality is. Higher quality means higher earnings and happier customers. There were parts when they would just pause the timer and have fun with it, like making coffee. There is a whole system just for pouring in a design into the coffee, making latte art. It doesn't add points, which is good because it's not the easiest system, but I did enjoy translating my actual coffee skills into the game, and I managed a wonky tulip. Kinda. You also have the option to just skip the cooking minigame altogether. The quality will not be great, but if you don't care that much for it, you don't have to play it. And if you're struggling with a particular mechanic, skip it. I skipped a particular recipe, and I'm fine with that. This is meant to be a laid-back and chill game after all. You also have a lot of animals roaming around. You can pet them, coax them to follow you, or send them to your cafe to hang out. And it's not just cats. You run into goats, cows, dogs, various birds, foxes, even a bear. Yeah, you can have a bear cafe if you want. Some of these animals do have owners and you can return them, but they're perfectly content to come along for the ride. Speaking of ride, you have mounts. A bear makes a great mount, so does a giant cat, a giant raven, a capybara, whatever. You even have a potion that makes small animals big and vice versa. And you can pick up all these animals. You can wiggle them around. The game has jiggle physics for the animals. The game is actually rather janky with the physics, but it leans into it, adding to the charm. And it's just fun to wiggle a cat. The music is fun and bright with an instrumental version of the theme playing throughout most of the game. However, when you move towards your cafe, a voice breaks through, singing the melody. It's lovely, but it does get a bit repetitive at times. Calico is a Kickstarter project that is marketed heavily as a cute, laid-back game, and it delivers. Issues become a feature. It's relatively simple in story, but presents it with a lot of charm and cuteness. The construction cats need bagels? You make them bagels. You learn a bit about the townsfolk, their stories, and their interests. I just wish there was more. It's a very lovely frosting on a relatively plain cake, and when I see how much the character creation and cooking minigame is fleshed out, I just wish that there was a bit more to how relationships with your neighbours develop rather than just, oh, I delivered some flowers and made cupcakes, now we're besties. But really, I did enjoy it. It's a very cute game, and I love changing up my cafe constantly in a way that is easy and fun. I love dressing up my player character. The cooking minigames are a challenge and full of mechanics. It's not a long game. I finished the main story in a few hours, but I could spend hours making sure that my cafe was just right. Calico is developed by Peachy Keen Games and is available on the Switch, Xbox, and PC.
Thank you, Zahra, for a very peaceful and relaxing review of Calico. What do you two think?
Cats.
Cats.
Capybaras.
Capybaras.
I love cats.
It's a... I watched Zahra play through this, and it is
Pigeons.
a beautiful, like, spirit of the game. Like, it's got all of the indie jank of, like, low budget, like, weird, like, we know we can't make this as good as a AAA studio could make it. But at the same time, like, they just lean into it and they make it work. Like, the physics, the jiggle physics don't make any sense.
Jiggle physics.
Like, the animals jiggle.
Oh.
One of my favorite games is just, I call it Wiggly because the humanoid form that you play as just wiggles everywhere every time it moves. So I'm down for it.
You can just pick up a cat and, like, hold it and wiggle it around,
well,
and it'll jiggle.
Kind of what happens with some cats.
Yeah, it's fun. But, like,
the whole thing.
If two animals
really
get
cute.
like stuck in each other, like, they just kind of pop out.
Aww.
It just deals with it.
Aww. The noodle physics.
Noodles.
It's great.
Yeah.
I want noodles now.
And the cooking minigame is absolutely adorable.
It does look so cute.
You shrink down to be like the size of a mouse, and then you run around the kitchen grabbing the ingredients.
That's 100% what I look like when I'm running around the kitchen trying to
You
cook.
do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You have to stand on the counter.
Exactly.
You're 4 inches tall.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tiny.
Yeah.
It's
You're a borrower.
Like, reaching this microphone is really difficult, guys.
Yeah, we had to put it all the way down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unrealistic expectations, people. But
well,
it is a magical little game.
It
looks like so much
little
fun.
game. I am in control because you're listening to Zed Games. I'm Hazel, and I'm here with Rani and Tobi.
Woohoo!
Now
we share one brain cell.
we do.
This time of night.
This is the peanut gallery.
We're all tired, sleep deprived.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're all in this together, and then I was.
We're all in this together.
Thank you.
Now, I might be biased because I put together the playlist for the show, but I think there's some great video game music on this episode.
Yes.
And I just wanted to talk about video games and their influence on our musical tastes.
Ooh.
Because, like, I when I was a young creature, I played Need for Speed Underground. And that changed the course of my life.
Mm-hmm.
By which I mean I started listening to like UK rap.
Yeah. I hear.
And like alternative metal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that game had an absolutely banging soundtrack. To this day, like T.I.
I'm pretty sure the whole reason I'm such a gremlin is because of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh.
Nobody does it better. And the track we just listened to was from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
1 and 2 remake.
HD remaster.
Not the original.
Not the original. It had not come out and would not come out for another 10 plus years.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure the whole reason... Except I didn't like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 as much as I liked 3. So, yeah, that, I think... I think I
had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 and Underground. Tony Hawk's
I never
Underground?
had the game.
Something
I
like
just
that.
played my friends' copies.
Right.
Oh, in the pop music genre, GTA, the original, PlayStation 1, where you could actually put the CD into your CD player and listen to all of the tracks instead of just one after the other.
Genius.
And I still love going back to that one.
Yeah. Like actual genius to be able to just put the CD in the CD player and just let it roll.
I had the CD for Life is Strange.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I maybe still have it, or I donated it to the Zed library, actually. But that was another game that had a banging soundtrack.
Yeah.
I love the Life is Strange.
Well, I bought, not Life is Strange, I bought the vinyl soundtrack for Ghosts of Tsushima. So good to listen to. Yes. And it's so background music, so classic. But I think one of my earliest games that I actually bought the soundtrack of was Machinarium, which was a game that I never actually finished.
Yeah.
Mainly because I am not great at puzzle games, and instead love things like hint systems.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to listen to that. What? Oh, God, the face!
I thought of a game that I never finished, that I loved the soundtrack to, but now, because I never finished it, I cannot listen to the soundtrack because it triggers me. It's Undertale.
Oh, my... What?
Yo,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never played it, I'll be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's
I did one
timing games sometimes are not my like.
Speaking of timing games, Guitar Hero.
Oh my! How?
What? How did we not think of Guitar?
Or like Rock Band, or literally
Yeah.
any of those.
I never owned any of those.
Controllers
were too expensive.
No, so I had friends that had it. Again, would borrow friends' consoles. But we would go over for like family barbecues or whatever, and so it would just be all the kids playing Rock Band.
Actually,
and then
I tell a
the
lie.
adults out doing something.
I'm sorry, I just used to
didn't
lie there and play.
I didn't get to play it, but I did have, for some reason, a copy of the Guitar Hero 3 soundtrack.
Interesting.
With, like, AFI's Miss Murder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And many other songs that I can't think of right now.
I always forget that those are games that exist and that have music that we could, potentially play, but then, I don't know. I just think...
It's one of those things. But then you think about all those car games where it just pumps you full of all of its own types of music.
Ben Ryan says DDR, Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or even just all of the Just Dance games. What are we on about?
Yeah.
We're just forgetting
there are
that
so many.
There's a whole genre of beat games.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh God, I'm gonna show my thing. I have ENO or ENO.
Electric. No.
ELO. ELO, the one that you
Electric Light Orchestra?
No. The one that you trace. I'm waving my hands around in the air.
I don't know what you're on about.
Huh?
Os?
Yes, that's Osu. That's the one.
You didn't get any of the letters.
No, I didn't get any of them.
I was like, are you talking about Electric Light Orchestra? Like, what are you on about?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I really enjoyed that with Just Dance that they would put the they eventually caught on to just uploading all of the songs to their YouTube so that you could do Just Dance for free on YouTube so that you didn't have to buy it. And so the only thing so we used to do it at school.
Yeah.
But the only thing then was that you didn't get the satisfaction of like getting the points or anything.
Yep.
But if you just wanted to put it on for like your class,
That's okay. I wouldn't have gotten any points anyway.
you could do that. And so eventually when they started releasing the games, they just started putting the videos up on YouTube anyway.
God.
Zahra has suggested video game AMVs that changed your musical tastes.
Paul has all the rock band instruments.
Specifically a Shadow the Hedgehog AMV set to It's My Life by Bon Jovi. And
my God. You know, I
gotta say, I didn't know that about you, Zahra.
No, it's pulling me all the way back to like Newsgrounds Day and listening to the music during the Matrix era and listening to all that heavy metal in all of those Java games.
Newgrounds is coming back in a very weird way. If you
in what kind of
adults
how weird
out there? Children do not do this, but adults out there, have a look at Montrose's games on Twitter. They are a fantastic local developer that make lots of stuff and put it out on Newgrounds. And they come to Game On every year.
Oh.
Woo.
Hey, shout out to the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love the locals. Yes.
Yes? You ummed?
I think I've got this on the brain because of Hi-Fi Rush coming out.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush is a bit of a sleeper hit.
I don't think it's much of a sleeper anymore.
Well, they dropped it with no announcement.
Oh, they didn't. Yeah, but it's the hype's building.
It just came out. Nobody knew it was coming out. And it's baller. It's got a baller soundtrack. It's even got a baller streaming safe soundtrack that won't get you copyright strikes. And you just heard one of the tracks from it tonight.
They are so clever because the game, like, some of it is the lyrics are important to the story.
Yeah. And
so the streamer safe versions have to be close enough lyrics wise and actual melody, beat, rhythm, pitch wise. It's so clever. It's really
they've made these original tracks that kind of like mimic the sound and vibe of the license track that they did use.
So good.
Yeah.
It's really clever. Tobi's like,
no. My immediate thought
is,
I remember Paul talked about all of that very.
Yeah.
Sorry, I edit the podcast.
And for those of you listening on the podcast, if you're wondering where is all this music I'm hearing about, tune in live and you'll hear it.
Or they can go to
listen to radio on demand.
.au. And then hit the hamburger, and then go down to
Z
on-demand programs and other
listen in
stuff,
and hear about all that and hear that music in your ear holes of all the things that we are talking about.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's the sound of the police coming to get Tobi for entering the state of Queensland. So he has to run back across the border now, and we need to say good night. It's the end of the show.
Good night.
Bye. See you on the other side,
everybody. See you next week.
I look forward to it.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.